The brand spanking new Porsche Cayenne Turbo, one of the most powerful Porsches ever made, except most of them are probably going to be driven like that. Hello, school-run mums that live in Chelsea. This video is just for you. Now, back in 2002, when the Cayenne was first released, it was quite a controversial car because people would just come along and say things like, what do you mean an SUV that's also sporty and has performance and you can drive it on main roads and have a great time? It just doesn't make any sense. You're so ridiculous. The things you say, And in the end, Porsche ended up selling about 1.5 million vehicles. 1.5 million. I think you can call that a success. Do you agree? I mean, it's keeping those people that want a sporty car in a more practical body, keeping them very happy. Chuck the kids in, still have a jolly old time. And now we have a new version, and it's electric, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. So I have some numbers to throw at you. So it's a pretty simple lineup. You only really have one battery to choose from, and the range all depends on the model that you choose. So WLTP wise, it will range from 380 miles to 399 miles. Again, it depends on what version you're picking. I mean, if you're going to pick the Cayenne, that has 442 horsepower, which is still pretty quick. And then you've got the Cayenne S that has 666 horsepower, which is quite a lot, isn't it? And then you've got the Cayenne Turbo, which is this version here. I think this has a typo. This says 1,156 horsepower. Hang on a minute. Wait. Yeah, no, it's right. It's got 1,156 horsepower. 1,156 horsepower. 1,156. Yeah. Okay, can we change things up in this video then, please? Because I would like to go for a drive, like now. So if you want to see like the design and materials and interior and stuff, just like wait, because I'm driving it. Right. You've got a load of different modes that you can use in this car, and you just spin the little toggle here like this. So you've got normal, comfort, sport, sport plus, off-road, basically all of the things. Now, as you go through the menus, at the moment we're in comfort mode, so this is where this is like prime position, I think, for this car. This is where it feels at its best, when you're not ragging it, obviously. But this is beautiful, and the reason it's beautiful is because we have a couple more options on this car. So we have the optional rear axle steering, which works beautifully. So when you're going around a roundabout or taking a corner, the wheels move in an opposite direction to the front wheels. So it makes the corner tighter and just makes it feel more agile. And then we have the optional active ride. Now you can only get that on the turbo. Now what that does, it's basically hydraulic suspension. So it means that every corner of the car works independently. So it means when you throw it, when you chuck it, when you throw it round a corner, it keeps the car so stable, it's crazy. And honestly, from jumping in this, after driving the regular Cayenne, just the normal version, it feels like a completely different car. This is fantastic. The normal Cayenne feels very heavy, feels very rolly. Right, here we go then. We're going to test its proper off-roading ability. This is just the standard Cayenne, by the way. This isn't the turbo version. We're taking this version properly off-roading because I know I have to concentrate. My tongue's going to come out quite a lot because it helps me concentrate. Ooh. Oh, by the way, yes, I know you probably won't see this happen because people don't want to damage their Cayennes because they're fancy pants and very wealthy, but you can actually take these things off-road. The all-wheel drive system is utterly brilliant, and we did have a wonderful experience of sliding around on some mud and stuff. So if you want to do it, it can be done, trust me, and it does work really, really well. Whoa, yeah. I just want to point out we are on all-weather tyres. We are not on off-roady tyres. So it's a bit slippy slidey, but in a way, it's making it more entertaining. It's doing well though, isn't it? This is bloody marvellous. It really is. And I'm just driving in normal mode at the moment. So let me go into sport mode. Then you're going to hear a little rumble. So it's a bit of a fake V8 going on underneath the car. That doesn't give me my full horsepower just yet. Go up to Sport Plus, the noise gets a bit louder, it gets a bit more powerful, it gets a bit firmer, it feels angrier, it feels like this is what it wants to do. It wants to feel like this. It's all-wheel drive, obviously. I know I gave the normal number as 1,156, but actually, in terms of just like putting your foot down, you've got 857 horsepower. It's only when you press that button there, that one right there, is when you can kind of boost and overtake, and that gives you the full 1,156 horsepower. 2, 1. That took my breath away. That was the full 1,156 horsepower. That's a 0 to 62 time in around 2.5 seconds. I knew it was going to be fast. That frightened the out of me. Your thoughts? Yeah. Yeah, steering's wonderful. You've got a really nice bit of weight to it. You can chop and change that as well if you want to make it a little bit looser or whatever you want to do. But I quite like where it's sat. I love this driving position because you're slightly higher and you feel better than everyone else. Of course you're better than everyone else. You're driving a Porsche Cayenne Turbo. It's very good. Also earlier on, we took it on the motorway and it's just silent. It's just silent and smooth. It's kind of perfect. I'm not saying that the normal Cayenne is perfect because I don't think it is. This turbo with active ride and the optional rear axle steering, this is perfect. Now earlier on, I drove the regular Cayenne. And that feels like a completely different car to this. You can really feel the weight of that. You can really feel the weight of it underneath you and it gets a little bit rolly. And I think that would make you feel a little bit car sick. But this feels totally different, even though it weighs the same. Do you want to take a guess on how much this weighs? Because I'll reveal all later. In terms of regen braking, they kind of don't really bother with it in Porsches because they're like, well, we want it to feel like it's a petrol car, so we don't really have regen braking. But it does kind of have smart regen. So if it does register that there's a car in front, it will start braking a little bit for you, but it doesn't have like full one pedal driving or anything like that. The adaptive cruise control also works really well. That's smart. So whenever the speed changes, it changes for you and it does it in a very polite manner. The steering wheel feels great on my hands. It just makes me smile. Do you want to know how you know you're extra fancy? You have the monochrome badge. That's how you know you're doing well in life. Right, give me your honest opinions. Do you prefer this kind of new look to Porsche? I quite like it. I mean, what they're doing is they're nodding to the Taycan. They're nodding to the Macan. So it just ends up looking like one big happy family. And I quite like the era of Porsche that we're in right now. I quite like the look of that front nose. It looks a bit kind of sharky, doesn't it? Or a bit like a whale. And quite frankly, it weighs the same as a whale. 2.5 tons, actually 2.6 tons. This is a hefty, chunky boy. Now we also have air intakes down the side, which is good for aerodynamics. It actually has a better drag coefficient than an ID3. Make that make sense. I don't know. It's just under 5 meters long, so it's quite a big car, and you do feel it while you're sat inside it, but it does mean there is a ton of space going on inside. Now I quite like the design of the side. It's very simple, no faff. I like this very much. You know why? Because it's satisfying. We love this, but I don't know how to close it unless you press a button inside or you drive off and then it closes by itself. But there's no way to actually close it from this position here. So I'm just going to leave that like that. Massive wheels as well, by the way. Huge! These are 22s. Massive. Chunky boy. At the back, light up badge, which I like very much. That's really nice, slim, beautiful writing, isn't it? It's not too in your face and it's lovely. Can I also give a shout out? I know I'm basic, but to the rear wiper. We like that very much. That's always nice. And I quite like the design of the rear. It looks quite nice from the back. Like all of this going on here, this, you only really get this in the turbo. And then here you've got active aero, so this can raise up and go back down again, so you've got better downforce and all that kind of thing when you're absolutely ragging it. Do you want to see inside the boot? It's huge, by the way. Absolutely huge. Now let me... No. Can you help me? Can you do it? That's it. Good camera work, Nicola. Good camera work. 770 litres. 772 litres of space going on in here. Is there space under the boot floor? Yeah, there's a little bit. That's where you can kind of chuck your cables and things. You've got a bit of netting around the side. You've got some buttons here. So this is how you can... These buttons here is how you can lower or you can raise the ride height if you've got some really heavy shopping. You can fold the seats down by pressing these buttons here. So if you've got kids sat in the back, you can really annoy them by pressing that. You've also got oh my, a tow bar. 3.5 tons they can tow. So that's good, isn't it? Okay, the weather's really taken a turn for the worse, so I'm actually kind of happy that we're sat in this car right now. First thing you notice is the curves going on in here. So you have the curve driver information screen, which has existed for a while in other Porsches, but now you have this. This is called the flow display. It's 12.25 inches, and honestly, it's brilliant. The reason it's brilliant is because you've got like a little shelf here where you can rest your hand. So you're not having to bob around while you're pressing things. You can just rest your hand and you're tapping the things that you normally tap. This is where your sort of climate controls and things like that can be. And that's all nice and easy to use. Heated seats, boom. Tap some other things, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Nice and easy. And I think that's great. Who would have thought we would need a shelf at some point in a car, but now we've got it and it looks and works brilliantly. There's also a couple of things I would like to point out to you. That is this button just here. That is permanently there, that button right there. Because then when you press it, you can turn off your bing bongs. It's permanently there. You've also got a sort of, oh, what have I just done? I've just opened the frunk. Can I close it? It's going to fill up with rain. Go and close it. Go close it.
You do something, I have to go and close it.
Thank you. There are some really interesting options that you can get for this car. So you can opt for electric doors, a bit like if you're in a Rolls Royce and you're very fancy and you want to just kind of press a button and all the doors open and press another button and all the doors close for you. It's, you know, do you need it? Probably not, but you can opt for it if you want it. You also can opt for something I think is quite odd. You have lovely heated seats, really nice. I've actually got them on right now because it's quite chilly here in Barcelona. But you know, sometimes, you know, when you're out and about and you're like, oh, I'm really chilly, particularly on my forearms, as in here, oh, these are really cold, these bits, because this is now heated and that's now heated. So as soon as you turn on the heated seats, you can opt for arm warmers. It's also, apparently, the first production car that has a roof that opens, but not just opens, it also has this kind of like opaque, like you can chop and change how that looks. But it's the first car that exists that has that opaque thing and then you can open it. I don't know why, but they're very proud of that. It's a very nice interior in here. I do love a Porsche interior. I do love how this looks. I don't see the point in having a passenger screen. Most people will probably be just sat on their phones. But I can tell you that if they are playing on that screen, as you're driving, you can't see it. So it will not distract the driver whatsoever. It's completely blocked from the driver's view. It kind of just focuses on the passenger only, but you can play games and all that kind of thing, and they can play with the music. They can also turn on your heated steering and change the bolsters in your seats. So if you have an annoying person sat in that seat, like I did earlier with Manos, they could irritate you while you're driving. Do you know what else you can do? Is you can set your personal settings. So there's a button here, part of the main sort of bit at the bottom, that says personal settings. And once you tap on that, you can choose all of the things that you want on or want off, depending on which mode you're on. So at the moment we're on comfort mode. So I would want my speed bing bongs off. I want my lane keep assist off. I want my distraction warning off. And you accept it. And once you've actually done it twice, it remembers it. And then whichever mode you go in, it will then always remember how you want those settings. Brilliant. That's how you make the most out of your boot space. Have everything all the way forward. That's how you end up having so much room back there. And actually, with it all the way forward, I still have a smidge of knee room. And that's set up for my driving position. I'm 5'6.5", 169 centimetres. And look, it's nicer like this though, isn't it? There is another lever down here. Oh? Yeah, you can be a bit more upright if you've got a bad back. We'll go back again. We also have the optional rear heated seats, so that's very nice. My bum is nice and warm. That's a nice bonus. You can control your temperatures and stuff down here. That's all fabulous. Then you've got, put your cups in there. I would describe this as a 4-seater car, really. That's not really a seat, is it? I mean, it can be, because there is a seat belt. You just have to have a really, really, really thin bum, which I don't have. So I'm not even going to try because I'm going to overflow and no one wants that. You also don't have a flat floor in here, which is quite interesting. That is not what I would expect to see in an electric car, but here we are. I guess that kind of adds to the fact that it's still a 4-seatery car, isn't it? But there is a ton of space back here. Your passengers will be very, very happy. I mean, of course they will be. You could afford a Porsche, so they're happy anyway, aren't they?
Okay, as I start to calm down, shall we talk about the battery? Right, let's do that. So the Cayenne gets a 108 kilowatt hour usable NMC battery. Now that has a total capacity of 113 kilowatt hours. Now the battery models themselves are manufactured in-house by Porsche, and they get a new pouch cell technology that improves energy density and delivers a WLTP range of up to 399 miles, which on paper sounds fine, but you also have to kind of bear in mind that there are BMWs and Volvos out there that are throwing out 500 miles worth of range, so they might be worth considering if you're that kind of person. Charging wise, we've got speeds of up to 390 kilowatts, courtesy of the new 800 volt charging system. So if you can find a 400 kilowatt rapid charging stations and get ideal conditions, you can get nearly 200 miles of range in around 16 minutes. Or if you find one of the more common 400 volt 150 kilowatt rapid chargers that you'll find in most UK motorway services, you'll get around 100 miles of range in that time. A 7 kilowatt home wall box that most owners will rely on for routine charging will deliver a full charge from nearly empty in around 15 to 18 hours. I mean, obviously this car is not cheap, but when you look at the rivals like the BMW iX, or even if you look at the pricing for the smaller Macan, the Cayenne actually looks pretty competitive, and that is before the new electric Range Rover arrives to make everything look cheap.
So, if you have the money, would you consider it? I mean, we've got to bear in mind that the normal Cayenne starts at around £83,000, and then the options list is unbelievable of all the things that you can add on to this car, and that's where the money really adds up. This turbo version is around £140,000. That's a lot of money. Now look, I'm going to throw this out there. If you have the cash and you can do it, go for your life. You're going to love it. It's a fantastic, brilliant machine. But if you feel like you're going to have to really kind of dig deep to try and afford one of these, maybe you want to go for like something a little bit smaller, like a BMW iX3 or something, you know? But if you can afford it, do it. And then come pick me up and take me places and we'll have fun. Okay, bye.